Where did the road go? Off-road edition. Welcome to Where Did the Road Go? This is a short off-road edition. And I have Adam Sayne.
Hello, Seriah. It's good to be off-road with you.
And Serfiel.
Hello, 4x4 and off-road.
And you guys are here to talk about your conference coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's coming up real soon. We're less than a couple of weeks right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, just under a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Are you prepared?
We are getting there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are getting prepared as we speak for this whole thing. So,
and this is
the fifth time we've done this.
Wow.
And so, it kind of feels like, it should be kind of like old hat by now, but I'm sure there will be some kind of major technical foul up at the first night. There always is. So
sure.
we're just, we're going to cross
Something
our
will
fingers.
go wrong.
Something will go wrong. Yeah.
Well, so I like the way you did this year. Instead of mixing in the virtual stuff, you're doing all the virtual stuff on Sunday with all the in-person stuff Friday and Saturday.
Right.
And
just to add to that, though, the whole thing is online.
Right.
So
right.
I think there might be some confusion, but we're doing the whole thing online. But yes, we're only going to be at our on-site, which is SIR Nashville, on Friday night, and then all day Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon we're doing a string of online presentations, which you are a part of.
Yes. And you're talking. This is November 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it is the Strange Realities Conference. And the website for this is what?
StrangeRealitiesConference.com.
Okay. That's complicated.
StrangeRealitiesConference.com.
Remember when websites used to have all those other things in there, like .hotmail, .whatever, .this, .that? And almost nobody had just plain domain names?
Yes. I do remember that.
So anyway,
that was back in the day.
Yes. And every once in a while I find something from that era and there's a website on it and I'm just like, oh yeah, look at that. It's like going across the entire sheet. So the whole thing will be viewable online, not just on Facebook.
Right. We've got another option for people too. So once they this week, I'm actually going to go ahead and send that out to people what that option is. But there's another way to view it. So
okay, for the people who don't have a Facebook.
The way we're doing it for most people is that there's a private Facebook group that you guys can go and view this in. But for people that don't want to use Facebook, we do have another option.
Yeah, and after all these years, it still is really the best, most universal option that allows you to have a private group and some kind of media streamed into. So, no, it's not the ideal. We don't particularly love Facebook either, but that's really the best way to do it.
Right. So, everything from Friday and Saturday will be in person and broadcast on to the group, the Facebook group, and this other option you have. And Sunday, there'll be no one in person, but it's going to be all the virtual presentations.
Correct.
Right.
So,
and everyone in Nashville will be hanging out, watching those different watch parties and stuff. So it'll be cool. An ongoing thing Sunday also in Nashville, but just informally.
Okay. And we should say that because it's in that group, and then the other option will be the same way. You if you do miss something, you can go back and watch it. So this will be available to watch. It's not like you're only going to have a limited amount of time to watch it. You'll be able to see it. So if you're traveling or you miss something that day, or you're not able to watch it on that Sunday, don't worry. You can pick it back up later.
Okay. And that's how you've done it with all of them.
That's how we've done it with all of them.
Right.
So give us the lineup starting on Friday.
Yeah. So starting on Friday evening, on November the 3rd, and we're going to start at 5:00 Central Time. So, guys, wherever you're at time zone wise, just adjust that to where you are. But we're going to start off with none other than my partner here, Serfiel Stevenson, who's done Paranormal with me for a number of years and has been also worked with me on this whole conference thing for the last few years. He's going to start off. And Serfiel, do you want to tell him what you're going to be talking about?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to be doing a presentation on the esoteric aspects of Nashville history. So a lot of mysteries surrounding Nashville and its history, things that I grew up investigating, and it's the place where I began to explore all these mysteries, really. So it'll kick things off on Friday. Hopefully, give some spooky tourist spots to everyone there in Nashville for the downtime or before and after the conference. And be a great way to start and kind of establish that location.
Okay, it sounds interesting.
And we're going to follow Serfiel up with Mallory Sawinski. And Mallory is going to be talking about, she's a ghost hunter.
Okay.
Out of the Philadelphia area. And she's going to be talking about how ghost hunting has been kind of like a form of therapy for her, and kind of finding, letting your freak flag fly, just so to speak. So that's what that's going to be about. Follow that by Zach Hunt, who's going to be talking about now Zach, he's kind of like I guess you could say a more liberal kind of Christian writer. And he's going to be talking about some ideas such as that are in the book of Revelation, or that are other things that maybe kind of like evangelical Christians hold dear. But he's going to be talking about like a new way to look at those that's a little less stifling, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And we're going to follow that up with Mr. Tim Banal. He's actually going to end the night with us. And he's going to be talking about paranormal feuds. And when he's done with his presentation on paranormal feuds, since we can say this now because we did the big announcement last night, Tim is going to be, we're going to be doing Strange Realities Feud, which is his own version of Family Feud. So it's going to be a game show where I think we're going to be pitting the people in the audience against the speakers. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys will enjoy that as well. And so that's going to end up be the end of Friday evening. And on Saturday, we have a full plate. We got a full roster that night.
So you're starting at what time?
We start at 9:30 in the morning.
That is crazy.
That is Central Time. So if you're on Eastern Time and you're watching it, it's not so early.
It's still early.
But it's still early. Well, early for you, Seriah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Early is late usually for you. So, but Cheslin Vance is going to be starting us off. Now, Cheslin, she is a hypnotherapist here in Nashville, and she's going to be doing like a hypnosis session to start your day at Strange Realities and get you hypnotized to fully accept everything that you're going to hear at the Strange Realities Conference.
Oh, no.
And we're following her up with Brent Rains.
Nice.
And Brent, of course, he is semi-local to here. He only lives like about 90 or so miles away from Nashville. And he's going to be talking about some of the high strangeness cases that he has investigated over his like long career of investigating and researching.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be talking about the role of location itself in that. So that'll be that'll be cool.
Yeah. And lunch break is after that, so like that's an important part of the day. Get recharged. And then Ren Collier is gonna be coming on at 1:00 Central Time. Ren is going to be doing basically what he talked about on your show, Seriah, not that long ago, talking about like the Collins Elite and some of these ideas of disclosure and what some of that might mean. So really looking forward to that. Kiki Dombrowski follows him, and looking forward to what Kiki brings. She's doing something. She's doing things on the tarot. Okay. She's going to do like a whole tarot base, because she's got a book coming out fairly soon about tarot. She's going to do a presentation on that, or kind of a workshop as well. And followed by Tobias Wayland, who's going to be talking about some of his work investigating the Chicago Mothman cases and looking at the roles of the witness, and instead of just looking at the hype, but looking at what exactly is it that witnesses actually saw, and what kind of filtering out some of the media influence in there. And followed up by Steven Snyder. Now, Steven, also known as Recluse from the Farm podcast, he's going to be talking about some of the mysteries and ideas that are in Stanley Kubrick films.
Nice.
So that's going to be an interesting one. And then followed by, of course, the dinner break. That's going to be at SIR itself. And then we have Nathan Isaac from the Penny Royal podcast. He is going to be talking about some of his research into cattle mutilations and what some of those aspects might mean. And then we're gonna end the night speaker wise with some guy you might know named Joshua Cutchin.
Oh, Mr. Crutchin, yes.
Mr. Crutchin, yes, or sometimes known as Kuchin. He is going to be doing a presentation on some of really digging deep into some of the more paranormal aspects of what exactly was he said that he was doing, Serfiel? He's looking at some of the Patrick Hansen material. I believe that's what he was going to be talking about.
Patrick Hansen?
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Who's Patrick Hansen?
I might be. I don't. I may be.
Or are you saying Patrick Harper or George Hansen?
Patrick Harper. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
I mean, you just mixed up.
I knew it started with an H, Seriah.
I think you just put together two brilliant minds in one name.
Well, it happens sometimes.
Hansen and Harper.
Yeah. So he's going to be talking about some of that and some of that material that is in that and kind of what it means in a broader kind of what is our theory of the paranormal, I suppose.
Cool.
And finally, we have a Q&A session with everybody that is there. And Nevaeh, who was on your show not too long ago, Seriah, with me, she is going to be moderating that. So,
cool.
And so that is everyone that is going to be at SIR Nashville and online. And on the 5th of November, we start off with Christopher Ernst talking about some more experimental film and esoteric films, and David Metcalf. He's going to be talking about kind of the role of the horror host, and Aaron Gullius.
Wait, horror host like the Crypt Keeper type of stuff?
Yeah.
He's going to be looking at them
Vampira,
as initiatory figures, and tracing back a lot of their tradecraft to vaudeville and stage magicians, and just kind of it'll and exploring the history of horror as well, and the business of it. So it'll be, he's been taking real deep dives on that stuff recently, so that'll definitely be fascinating.
Cool.
Aaron Gullius is looking at some contactee cases from Michigan.
Nice.
Of course, that's classic for the Saucer Life guy.
Yeah.
And Mike Hughes going to be talking about some divination techniques, different types of divination techniques. Of course, you and I we just talked to him not that long ago.
And he
then we got
he also said it wasn't just divination techniques. He said he was talking about practical magic too.
Practical magic, and yeah,
he's going to be giving real instructional ways to start interacting with a magical worldview.
And then some guy named Seriah Askath.
Yes, and I'm going to be talking about some of the stuff I'll be putting into the book that's not my autobiography whenever I get around to writing it. So
which we're excited to hear, by the way.
Absolutely. Thanks for giving that to us.
Me too. I got to collate my notes and make sense of them.
Well, we can crowdsource that if you'd like.
No, I don't think anyone can do that.
And finishing off with Mr. Timothy Renner from the Strange Familiars podcast, he's going to be talking about the miracles of Fatima.
Yes,
which I'm also really excited about. So really strong speakers on that Sunday.
Yeah, it's the whole thing as usual seems very solid and diverse.
Thank you. It's definitely something that we kind of pride ourselves on being a little different than your normal kind of paranormal type of conference, where it's just all maybe Bigfoot or ghosts or a specific thing all the time. Which there's fine. There's a place for that. But what we like to do is to mix it up a little bit. And just so kind of there's a wide aspect of the paranormal and just ways of looking and different ways of looking at it.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people don't like diversity. They like UFOs or they only like Bigfoot. And so for that, if you do a podcast like Sasquatch Chronicles, where it's all Bigfoot, those people flock to that type of thing. I don't think there's as many people who have a wide interest. I mean, I'm not going to say there's not a decent amount, but I don't think there's as many as people who like one specific thing.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, you were definitely right about that, Seriah.
And I find the same thing with music, and I do this to myself.
I was about to say.
everything I do, I've had people go, well, Last Eggs would be better if it was just black metal or death metal. And it's like, no, it wouldn't. Like, I'm all over the place. Listen for 5 minutes, you'll hear something completely different. And, some people like that, but most people are like, but I like this. This is the style of music I like. I don't want to hear the other stuff. I'll just put Spotify on and play death metal all night.
Yeah. I think sometimes as you get older, like your tastes get varied.
Sometimes.
That's what I've discovered about myself a little bit.
Some people just lock in.
Yes. I was going to say that's the other option is people lock in.
Some people do. They just want to hear Guns N' Roses. Like, that's it.
Yes. I think some people, once they hit the end of whatever school they're going to, whether it be high school, college, whatever, that's kind of what they lock into, and they don't really look for new stuff after that.
Yeah.
Or they're just not exposed as much, and so they just listen to what they liked back in high school or college or whatever. Yeah. And with the paranormal, I mean, you have these different fields, people who are focused on these different fields thinking the other fields are nuts. If you hunt ghosts, well, yeah, that's ridiculous, unlike UFOs, and vice versa. Yeah. And it's like, but there's interconnections on all this stuff. And if you're not willing to explore that, you're either in it just for fun or you already have a belief system you're just trying to prove.
Yeah.
Right. And so we try to provide that variety. And I think that's something that the Strange Realities attendees do appreciate.
Yes.
That,
yeah.
We have all these different subjects, but we have tissue and things that are connecting all of them.
Yeah. And I think anyone listening to this show or your show, again, if you don't have a broader appreciation for these subjects, you're probably not going to stick around too long, or you'll just listen to the specific shows that interest you.
Mm-hmm.
But
so if you're only coming for Seriah, stick around and check out some of the other people as well.
Yeah, you have a great list of people there. How drunk is Tim Badal going to be by the time the Family Feud thing hits?
Let's hope he's not too drunk. That'll be more of a Saturday night thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Oh, that's kind of how it was last year.
Okay. All right.
He was. Saturday was a big party day. Let's just say that. Let's just put it that way.
This is the 5th annual. So
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys didn't miss a year for COVID, right?
We just went online.
We went totally online.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, because I think initially you weren't sure if you were going to be able to do it in person, right?
Yeah, for 2021.
Or 20. It would have been 20.
Or for 20. Yeah, I think we kind of had to call it pretty early, though, just because we wanted to ensure that it would happen in one form.
Yeah.
I think by May, we decided we were going to do it virtually.
Mm.
But it was fun.
And that's where we learned how to do this. That's how we learned how to do the StreamYard stuff. And, so it helped going into 2021 that we had all that available. And also SIR, where we do this, since because of the pandemic and because of people streaming online, since they have bands that practice there and some bands were going there and, doing online broadcasts.
Yeah.
So they got the modems and the thing and the ability to stream online because of that. And so it just worked out real well going into 2021.
Yeah. And the thing
this has been the 3rd straight year since then.
And as much as that stuff sucked, the lockdown, COVID, all that sucked, it did force us to look at new models for things.
Yeah, it did.
Because I don't think you ever would have done this online type of thing if you weren't forced to in the first place. Because it just never would have occurred, like you wouldn't even have thought about it.
Yeah. Well, online seemed to be, because I'd seen other people do dual online things, and it just seemed really complicated. And I think primarily because of the pandemic, these things like StreamYard, which is what we use, but there's other ways to stream, of course. But I think a lot of those companies, responded to that and improved their technology. So there was an amount of innovation that went into that. And so in 2019, we did not stream this thing at all. But it is filmed. You can actually see it on the Conspiranormal YouTube channel. But
really?
We did not stream it at all. Yeah. So it's documented. But
so what happens if someone hears this episode on November 6th? Can they still pay to get access to the stuff that happened?
They can.
Yeah.
They would. The tickets will be closed out on November 5th, but they could just contact me and Adam Sayne. Just contact me me or contact Serfiel, they could get in.
Like the
I've actually had that happen. So
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah, we've done that.
unusual. Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody hears about it too late.
We would encourage anyone though to watch it live, even if you're watching online, because it still does have a real live element, and there is a lot of interaction in the chat with the online people, and a lot of fun. Everyone feels like they're experiencing something together, even online.
And
we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, so you guys can find, like Conspiranormal, you could send a message to those pages too. So,
what is the cost in person and then online
the cost for in person is $70
for all 3 days?
And of course,
All
for
three.
all 3 days, and that gets you. They also get you on the online stuff too.
Yeah.
And if you are coming to Nashville and you can only do a day, we're charging $40 per day.
Okay.
But that will also get you into the online as well.
Right.
But for online only, it is $30, and that's for all 3 days.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Yep, $10 a day. If you think about it, and
Yeah, great deal.
Yeah.
yep,
A lot of entertainment.
And endless
Hours of
replays.
research.
endless.
Yeah,
replays.
yeah. I
Yes.
mean, I still go back to 4 and 3 year old presentations for stuff that I recalled. If there's something something I'm looking into or researching, I'll go back and check that out. So these presentations will all be really, really, really great and in depth, and worth revisiting as well.
All right. Is there anything else people should know?
I think that pretty much covers it. Other than to get your tickets.
And
StrangeRealitiesConference.com, and the sooner you can do that and get into the private streaming group, the better, because if it all happens at the rush on the day of, it can be a little bit backed up.
sure.
Yeah, it can be
Sure.
hectic.
All right. Well, thank you too. And of course, your
Thank you.
podcast is also found at.
Conspiranormal, conspiranormal.com. We're anywhere the podcasts are, Apple, Spotify, any of them. So you can find us pretty easily.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
You have been listening to Where Did the Road Go? This show is made possible in part from our Patreons, and we thank you and everyone listening for helping us continue this exploration of the strange. You can always find everything Where Did the Road Go related at www.wheredidtheroadgo.com. And thank you so much for your support.